Good morning, it's Tom C. Welcome back to another killer video. This topic is very important. I think a lot of people don't know the bad parts about it. It's about the ingredients that they put in your food, fast food and other food too. And these ingredients are undigestible, which means you eat the food and the next day you probably get massive diarrhea, your stomach hurts, it makes grumbling noises, and it's because of that. And why do they do that? It probably makes the product look better with these ingredients, and they don't really care about your health. Just stop already. The World Health Organization and what the United States, the Surgeon General and all this other stuff. Look, the world, but I'm going to talk about the United States. The United States does not care about your health, because if they did, they wouldn't sell cigarettes. They sell cigarettes, which cause cancer, it's proven, and they tax the hell out of it because they want to make the money off of somebody's addiction, somebody's drug addiction, because nicotine's a drug. And they sell them to people. It's fine. They say it's your right. It's not your right to smoke tobacco. But when the government okays that, they do not have your health in mind. That's for sure. They have your demise in mind. And if you're going to be addicted to nicotine and cigarettes, they want to tax the hell out of you the whole way. So they're a bunch of crooks anyway. But I'll tell you a little story. My grandfather died in the early 2000s. And my mother and my uncle split his estate 50-50 in the inheritance. So with my uncle's portion of the money, he lives in Canada with my aunt and cousins. And of course now they're spouses and they have children. All three of them have children. He loves White Castle. Man, every time he'd come back to Jersey for the week to visit, one of the spots was he was hitting White Castle because he used to go there as a teenager and this and that. Well, you go to Canada, there's no White Castles. So, and this was before the frozen White Castles in the food store. So he was interested in, investing that money and like opening up a White Castle. There's no White Castles. So he contacts White Castle about, opening a franchise. And they said, Canada does not allow us in their country. And my uncle said, why is that? And I think the woman from White Castle didn't give them the answer. You have to call the country and call your country's government, and they'll tell you more. Well, what the Canadian government told my uncle was, there is something in the hamburger buns, the White Castle hamburger buns, that renders the buns undigestible, and they won't feed that food to their citizens. They won't even let White Castle in the country. That should show you. McDonald's, Burger King, they all change their formulas, right? Why do you change your formula? I will not even eat Burger King. And you know what? When I was like 17, I should say a teenager, we had a Burger King in town. My father liked Whoppers. I liked Whoppers. When I was a teenager, I used to have a friend that lived sort of behind the Burger King, and we used to go there all the time. And Whoppers were like $1. They had them on sale, $1 Whoppers, and they were good. Maybe I'm a little older. My taste buds have changed, but like, you can't eat Burger King. You can't eat any of that fast food. You'll shit your brains out the next day. You will. It'll make you sick. You're not supposed to eat that. They're feeding you things you're not supposed to eat. How about the people that are allergic to gluten? Shit, 30, 40 years ago, I never heard of that in my life. Now all of a sudden, all these people are allergic to gluten. People have been eating pasta for centuries. Who knows when it was invented? I don't know. I don't care. People have been eating pasta for years and years. And bread and this and that. Now all of a sudden they're allergic to gluten. Now all of a sudden, all of these kids, you gotta watch, they all have peanut allergies. Let me tell you something. When I was in elementary school, as a little snack thing with your lunch tray, they used to give you a little Dixie cup, and it had raisins and nuts. What kind of nuts, you ask? That's a good question. Peanuts. We'd freaking eat them as kids. That'd be a little snack cup, whatever the hell it was called. And now kids can't even walk by a fucking peanut. They're in the hospital. There's a problem. They're doing things to our food that are making us sick. The United States of America. That's what they're doing. But don't eat fast food. It is not good for you at all. It is, matter of fact, very toxic for you. It's not just not nutritious. It's very toxic. And that goes right down the line. Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, White Castle, shit. You know, I could probably name them all. Because if you eat that food and the next day you're crapping your brains out, you know there's something undigestible in that food. And you need to watch what you eat from now on. You do. Because the American government's not looking out for your health, like I just said. So, with that being said, fast food definitely equals crap, and you can't trust a nicer restaurant either because it's all crap. It all comes from the same manufacturers. What do you think? The restaurants make their own buns? They don't make their own buns. They get them. So, careful what you eat. You're better off cooking the food yourself. And I know I'm sounding like an old man, right? Nah, you're better off. You're better off because they just want to make you sick because that's money for the hospital systems. Remember that. And if you die, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care about your health. They just don't. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from it. You can always feel free to do your own research, but stay away from that food. It's poison. It's not even food. It should just be labeled poison. And don't trust our government. They have your worst case scenario in mind. They don't care. They want your tax money till you die, and they want to feed you this garbage. So be careful. Be very careful. Thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Tom C. Make sure you subscribe and like everything. Make sure you subscribe and like. I'm out of here. It's a rainy day here in dirty Jersey. And I hope you have a nice day. Until next time, adios, everyone.